Alright, what's going on, guys? So KSI's appeal got rejected, and he made a video just prior to the verdict from the PBA. In this video, he acts like a salty, sore loser, and it's honestly kind of pathetic to see someone with this much ambition stoop to this level. These criticisms are as impartial as they can be because I'm not a KSI hater. In fact, I occasionally enjoy watching some of his videos. I don't watch his fights live, but if they pique my interest, I'll catch the highlights and whatnot. In this case, I forced myself to watch the whole fight on YouTube. I actually followed the prime card build up closely because how could you not with the Dylan, Logan, and Nina love triangle drama they had going on. For me, the KSI Tommy fight was kind of overshadowed by this, but again, it's not because I dislike the dude. In this video, he tries to downplay Tommy's accomplishments of beating him and saying multiple things like he's been boxing his whole life and he said he'd knock me out. He also brings up Tommy's fatherhood and some unrelated shit like his dance moves, which is supposed to make the viewer think he's a piece of shit because he has no rhythm, I guess.
And to be honest, Tommy Fury has been pretty embarrassing these past few weeks. From him being with Chris Brown, having zero rhythm, looking hella awkward, to him attempting to dance with Tion Wayne, to whatever this clip is. All while Molly May is looking after his kid at home. I mean, come on, Tommy. You're a father now. You can't be constantly partying in the club while your missus is taking care of your child. You were hardly around during Molly May's pregnancy, and it seems that even after the child has been born, you're hardly around.
Now, bringing up his fatherhood kind of rubbed me the wrong way because you're trying to paint this picture that somehow we can come to the conclusion that Tommy is a deadbeat because he's been seen at clubs and partying and whatnot. You can't really make claims like this, frankly, because it doesn't stand on any firm ground. Like, when you're making enough money to provide for your family and then some, it's okay to go out sometimes. Like, look at Conor McGregor, for instance. We've seen many clips of him pretty much cheating, right? For example, bringing women into that bathroom at an NBA game to do God only knows what. But we've also seen clips of him spending time with his kids, showing his son how to throw punches and whatnot. It's probably safe to call Conor a bad husband if you'd like, considering he's most likely fornicating with other women when his wife doesn't get that luxury, or if she does, they haven't disclosed it, and I'm not saying they need to, but fatherhood shouldn't really come into the discussion. Likewise, you can't call Tommy a bad father when him and his wife are very well off and you see him going out to a club here and there. You don't know their relationship intimately enough to pass judgment on that. None of us do. One last thing about this fatherhood thing, although these were only rumors, didn't KSI get accused of having like 5 abortions? Let me say I have no way of proving that, honestly, so take that with a grain of salt. This just was something that came up during the whole diss track era, and his own brother said he got somebody preggers.
No. Delete the kid, fam. Delete!
Oh, Deji for texting those girls, but you're on your 4th abortion.
But if the rumors are true, and you were actually slinging dick without a rubber so much so that you got 5 abortions, you should be the last person talking about fatherhood if you've dodged it that many times while being well within your means to take care of a kid. At least financially. Anyway, Mams, his manager, tweeted that they're moving on to the second of 3 stages for an appeal with the PBA to get the result overturned. We'll see if KSI terminates the appeal too, considering he's never made it to the 3rd stage, aka the 3rd trimester. Now, I have a tremendous amount of respect for KSI because he's managed to help make influencer boxing what it is today, and as an introvert myself, it's a terrifying thought to be on such a big stage where the whole world is watching and you're out here putting it all on the line. I remember I'd get the craziest butterflies before every wrestling match, and that was just in high school in front of like max a couple hundred people. But the thing is, you gotta be able to accept victory and defeat with humility on that big of a stage, lest you give your haters some ammo or leave your fans disappointed. What you shouldn't do, especially at 30 years old, and this is something that people typically learn in their youth sports programs, is throw temper tantrums when things don't go your way.
Robbery. You weren't landing. I'm the YouTuber and you're the boxer. You have to win. Before he won it, it was a loss because he said he was going to knock out. Control it, KSI, come on.
He's obviously very upset, and I understand why he's very upset. KSI shocked a lot of people. I think he was a plus 300 dog going into this fight.
Then you will get the rematch and you'll win the rematch.
Do you want that rematch?
I hate losing, man.
You don't immediately protest and kick around equipment during an interview. Hell, TJ Dillashaw was branded a sore loser for the way he reacted to the Henry Cejudo loss, And he still handled it a million times better than KSI did.
It sucks, man. It sucks when something's taken from you, you know, not when you're actually beat. I would love to get beat. Hey, congrats to Henry Cejudo. Good job, but you didn't beat me.
Fuck! Motherfucker! Fuck!
Freak out.
Actually, never mind. Anyway, in his video, he shows clips of other credible fighters who think KSI won to try and persuade the viewer, but you can show a myriad of clips of people who think Tommy won. I mean, you showed Izzy's perspective, and surprised that a dude who was signed to represent Prime as an athlete is saying you won a close fight. He also kind of nitpicked some of those other clips, which I can do too.
I will tell you, as I watched the matches this weekend, I was influenced by the announcers. That's true. I've got to disclose that. Grisham, Errol Hawani, Mams, they did a very good job, but they also influenced me and they convinced me that KSI won that fight.
The comments are just slowing him and saying that he lost the fight, and that's because he did. I don't care if 3 random people thought you won. The world knows that you ain't shit.
They're not random people, brother. They're the judges in the PBA. What matters here is what the judges in the PBA think. And they both said that you lost unanimously. If you're calling them random, then why show the clips of random people's opinions in the first place? I mean, True Geordie probably wasn't even paying attention to the fight with the fucking gag in his mouth. You managed to include the opinions of the people who have no actual power over the official decision. And sometimes fighters do get robbed, truly, but this close of a fight is not a robbery. You guys virtually had the same number of punches landed, and yeah, I mean, I personally watched the fight in its entirety for this video, like I said, and I'll be honest, I got pretty bored, so I spaced out a couple of times, but I scored at 57-56 for Tommy. Granted, I'm a casual viewer, so you shouldn't give a fuck about what I think in terms of who won, so take that how you will. He pretty much also resolves to downplaying himself in order to make Tommy seem like a shitter.
This guy, this nerdy FIFA player, managed to hang with you. And that, quite frankly, says a lot about your legacy.
Also contradictory of his actual self-image, because here's this clip.
So Jake, when you fighting KSI?
Shit, I don't know. Whenever he stops playing FIFA.
So cringe, man. It's just whenever he stops playing FIFA, what does that even fucking mean? I don't even play FIFA. What are you on about? Oh my god. Okay, well.
And it doesn't make sense because we're not in 2012 anymore. You're a pro boxer now too, essentially. Like, you've been training for years.
Also, the fact that Tommy Fury was unable to knock out a YouTuber that has been boxing for about 3 years is actually hilarious. Tommy has essentially been boxing all his life, and he struggled to even jab.
You say 3 in the video, it's 4 on Twitter. I mean, the point is you're pretty much the one choosing your opponents. And from Demetrius Johnson's own mouth, he doesn't think Tommy is a real pro boxer.
Now, I said it earlier that a professional boxer at least has 30 amateur fights, maybe 40 amateur fights. And when I watch Tommy Fury fight, I don't see that. I just don't see that. Right? He comes from a legacy of boxing. Tyson Fury, his father, John Fury. But you just don't see that. And I wonder why. I wonder what it is that we don't see that translation of boxing come over to Tommy.
You had your first bout in influencer boxing in 2018 when you were 25 years old and Tommy was 19. Tommy had his first pro bout in 2018 against some shit competition. I don't even think he had an actual amateur career. It just seems dumb as fuck to basically call Tommy Fury a shitty boxer when you're the one who wanted to fight him in the first place to prove a point that you're the best influencer boxer. You can afford trainers and equipment and partners that most can't, so you have resources galore. And you have the opportunity to focus solely on one thing at a time. You have that luxury. You have enough money to not have to worry about fucking making enough money for your next meal or rent or whatever. You obviously thought you were capable of beating him. Otherwise, you would have waited for this fight until you thought you were ready, which from the build up to the fight, it seemed like you thought you were ready.
Oh, you think you're fast? Do you think you're fast? Wait till you see me.
Do you know what it is?
Jake Paul, you can't compare me with Jake Paul. Don't give me this, oh, you know what it is.
Why not?
You don't know what it is.
I do know what it is.
You can't compare me to Jake Paul.
I know this fight game inside out.
I'm
more
different.
than you. I've
when
got
I
a
hit
cousin
you,
who's 10
when
years
I hit
old
you,
who's
you'll
bit
see.
like you. I'm going to come to you. I'm going to flatten you because you're...
Or you just would have not fought him at all. My brother, you can't say this guy's been doing it his whole life and he couldn't knock out a YouTuber. It's just so disingenuous. Like, you're calling yourself just a YouTuber now because it paints you in a better light. You also can't fault Tommy for that. Some people just don't got it like that. Maybe he'd be better at a different sport. But very seldom do you see siblings have the same amount of success in pro sports. You do see some, but they're exceptions, you know? The Jones brothers have, for instance, 2 pro football players and probably the greatest mixed martial artist of all time if you waive the steroids. Or if you don't care about the steroids, then yeah, the greatest mixed martial artist of all time. Then look at the Ball brothers. Like, there's one who isn't in the NBA. There's countless other nameless siblings who just weren't good enough when their brothers were. It happens. There are also other pro boxers out there that pretty much are just there to pad stats for other fighters via easy knockouts, you know? A lot of them have been doing it all their life and still haven't found success. In actuality, Tommy found an avenue to still make money in boxing while not truly being able to live up to the Fury name, and that's all that really matters for him. There's no shame in that, you know? Those are some big-ass shoes to fill. Lastly, bro, you seem like a crazy ex telling your viewers to go spam his comment section to tell him he lost. Like, just let it go, man. It's over.
So yeah, let's keep reminding Tommy that he didn't win that fight under his Instagram post or Twitter post or anything he posts online. And if you see him publicly, you could berate him as well and remind him.
None of this even needs to be said. It was a close, relatively boring fight. It's sad to resort to boasting about how bad you didn't lose, you know? I haven't even really seen people shitting on him about the actual fight except for maybe the excessive hugging, but apart from that, it was mostly his reaction that he's getting shat on for.
I posted on my Instagram saying this. I appreciate all the kind messages from everyone. In the ring and watching it back, I feel like I should have won. Either way, I feel like I accomplished what I wanted to in the end. This little untalented nerd was able to go toe-to-toe with a professional boxer. Use me as living proof that hard work and self-belief can get you anywhere in this life.
And see, this is an excellent message. Like, I can see it being very motivating if you look up to him like that. Other than the untalented nerd part, because again, you're not that dude anymore, but you should have kept this type of energy instead of boasting about how you didn't get knocked out by a pro boxer and trying to take away from his win. You say they robbed you of your moment.
Won the fight, so to have the judges completely take that moment away from me, yeah, it sucked.
But then you don't stop to think about the other side, about someone who probably put just as much effort into the camp as you did, and you basically take away his moment. I mean, that's the whole point of having respect for your opponent in a sport like this. Like, you can't just be disrespectful like that. Most of the people who fucking talk shit in the build-up of the fight, they show respect after the fight. Hell, Logan even was fucking mouthing "I forgive you" to Dylan when they're face to face right before they're about to fight. What do you all think? Again, I'm not a KSI hater. I just think he's in the wrong on this one. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments what I'm wrong about. If you think I'm right, that's cool, man. Just keep your hands to yourself. Also, please don't be offended about that abortion joke. It was in good spirits. So, yeah, thanks for watching and peace out.